Weet julle hoekom is daar so 'n klomp breakdowns van relationships? Dis my theory. Is I think that people have this idea that they want to hold on to their individuality within the context of their marriage. Now, I've got absolutely no problem with you if you feel you want to be an individual in the sense of having your own interests and in the sense of having your own hobbies and stuff like that. But one thing that you must realize from the onset, the moment you get married, your goals has to become our goals. It is very unlikely that you can have goals only for yourself within your marriage, because everything that you do touches your partner, right? And I think a lot of people have this idea of myne en joune within the marriage. That is my responsibility, that is your responsibility, in they trying to hold on to this feeling of being an individual within the marriage. And that is why a lot of people feel that they are giving up something. And some people, men and women, they fiercely hold on to this idea that nee, that is your responsibility, that is my responsibility. Nee, ek het my expenses, jy het jou expenses. In the end, if one of you don't live up to your responsibility within the marriage, then it's going to affect the other partner in any case. So trying to hold on to a sense of individuality once you've decided that two becomes one, for me it's just weird. It's extremely weird. Because let's say you decide, okay, you clean the inside of the house, I clean the outside, I'm responsible for outside, you're responsible for inside. What are you going to do when your partner decides they're not going to clean the inside anymore? Or the outside for that matter? It's almost going to render your inside cleaning as useless, because die huis gaat nog altyd kak lyk, because buiteom lyk dit kak. Of vice versa. Sy maak hou jou yacht skoon en sy buite, because that is your responsibility. En binne-in is dit mossig. Wat is die use? Sy sê vir jou partner, okay fine, uit die 20 expenses wat ons het, sy cover 10, ek cover 10. If one of those partners is not covering their responsibility, it's going to affect both. And I'm not talking about married in community of property versus not married in community of property. I'm talking about within the marriage, you've got two individuals, which I will never understand. It is something that it really boggles my mind that you can have an idea of nee, is ek en sy, maar ons is in a marriage. It just doesn't make sense to me, to be honest. Ek kan nie die radio afsit. It doesn't make sense to me, to be honest, because it just feels as if your marriage can be so much stronger if you both are walking around with a mindset of, listen, I am in one ship, you are in the same ship, the relationship. And it doesn't matter if my cabin is clean in the front, if the ship is sinking at the back. It is our ship that is sinking. I just feel like that's why marriages fail, is because you have this idea that I must still retain my individuality within this relationship. And if I have to, I'm going to do too much. I'm going to sacrifice too much. I'm going to, because now it's a week, ons week must met a 50-50. It's not 50-50 in the marriage, it's 100-100. But you still have these people walking around with a what about me attitude. What about me? What about me? And then if one of the two is not able to fulfill their part of the relationship, what does that mean? Does it mean that you are able to pick up the slack? Or are you walking around with a mindset, ek het my stukkie skoon gemaak. Die voorkamer is my responsibility. Ek het hy skoon gemaak, maar die kombuis lyk nog so skak. Of nou is daar 'n section wat altyd moet gebruik. Altyd gebruik die badkamer. Maar nou niemand wil skoon maak nie because ek het die duivel gemaak nie. Explain to me how does this 50-50 relationships work? Because it doesn't make sense to me at all. Because everything that I do, whether it means I decide, hey fuck, ek gaan nou meer werkie because why? Ek is nou befok. Of whether it means that I'm going to be irresponsible with my spend. It's going to affect our marriage regardless. How do you guys manage that portion? Where everybody wants to retain their individuality within the marriage. When you guys are literally two people that became one. So you're telling me that you're sharing the responsibility of the children, because they are out and just make it make sense.